everyone. This is H. Rantesh, and today I am going to discuss social cultures aspect of 2021 movie in Time, directed by Andrew Cruz. So, these those who haven't seen it, the film is set in a future where humans are genetically modified to stop aging at 25, but after that, you only have 1 year left unless you earn, steal, or inherit more time. Time literally becomes the currency you pay for everything: food, rent, water, transport, with minutes and years of your life. The movie starts Justin as Wells, a guy from the poor district, and as Sylvie, the daughter of time-rich elite. Together, they try to break this corruption system. Now, on surface, it's but social culture. It's basically class inequality and how wealthy determined your lifespan. Let me break that down. First thing that stands out is the movie visualized class division. The poor live in Daytown. It's dirty, crowded, and people are literally dying in the streets because their time hit zero. There's this constant sense of urge. People are running everywhere because every second counts. It's stressful just to watch. You have New Green, which the rich zone. It's clean luxury and people walk around with centuries on their arms. They're basically immortal. And get this there is a literally border between these zones with guarded and toll booths. You cannot cross unless you have enough time to pay. This is real, observed but effective metaphor of how wealthy separate people in real life. Think about gated community or how certain neighborhood, how better schools, hospitals, or insurance. The film just makes the division physically visible. You can see the inequality. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The rich doesn't harbor time, they actually manipulate the system to keep the poor. They raise prices and lower wages whenever the lower class starts getting too comfortable. It's designed to keep them desperate and exhausted. Why? Because when you are worried about surviving the next 20 hours, 24 hours, you don't have the energy or mental space to organize, protest, or rebel. You are too busy running. That's literally social control. And there is this one line in the movie that really stuck with me. One of the richest characters says, "For a few to be immortals, many must die." That's brutal logic for the system. If we contact this to the real world, think about how financial stress affects people, student debts, rising rent, low wages. It keeps people in survival mode. You are not thinking about systematic change when you are worried about making rent. In time, just make the system dynamic. That said, the movie isn't perfect, and I think of an academic discussion, it's important to acknowledge its flaws. First, the metaphor is really heavy-handed. Characters literally say things like the system is rigged. There is no sub. Some criticize argue that it treats the audience like we can figure out the message ourselves. Second, there are logics inconsideration. If time is that precious, why would people waste your years on gambling or luxury items? Realistically, they wouldn't. But you could argue that exact the point. It shows you how irrational and wasteful the rich are when they have too much. Third, the character aren't very deep. Will is more of a symbol that a fully developed person. He represents the oppressed working class, not really an individual. For a film analysis, that's a weakness. But for social cultural analysis, it actually works because the movie is about the system, not person. So overall, the film works better as an allegory than as realistic story. So to wrap this up, in time uses science fiction real world issue. It talks about wealth inequality, class division, and social control, and how the system is disguised to benefit a few at the expense of many. It's not a perfect film, but as a social cultural text, it gives us a lot to think about. The central question is asked it, what is your time really worth, and who gets to decide it? Thank you for watching. This is A. Charantej.